In the late 60s and early 70s, a religious movement that started at a small church in California swept the nation. It was called the Jesus Revolution. That's the subject of a new movie of the same name.
Hey, Square.
I am not a square.
Think we should invite Greg this weekend.
What's this weekend?
These people are hippies, rebels against old-fashioned authority.
I think these kids need help.
What they need is a bath.
You're passing judgment on people you know nothing about. And maybe that's why your church is so empty.
When God walks in here and brings me a hippie, I'll ask him what it's all about, because I do not understand.
This house has a very good vibe.
So this morning, I'm talking with one of the producers of the show, Andrew Irwin. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Leanne, it's great to talk to you again and appreciate what you guys do. And thanks for talking about Jesus Revolution. This one's awesome.
Yeah, this is a great story about something that touched a nation. How did you come across this idea?
You know, it's a story that kind of found us. We did a movie called Woodlawn about 8 years ago that was a football movie that happened in the same time period. And in our story in that one, it intersected a little bit with just the remnants of this Jesus movement, this Jesus revolution. But there was a Time magazine cover that my brother found that we ended the movie with that had Jesus on the cover and said Jesus Revolution. And he backed it up 3 years earlier, and the cover of Time magazine was a all-black cover with just the words, "Is God dead?" And he just asked himself, what must have happened during that time that, you know, shifted a country and shifted exactly where the country was going. And as he dug into the story, it was just too good to be true.
I just saw the movie and I was so impressed. I was shocked and amazed. Kelsey Grammer, how did you snag him?
Kelsey is, he was meant for this role. And when people see the movie, like, he's truly just magnetic. He's funny. He's got warmth and depth. But there's just something, I think it's one of his best roles he's ever done. In fact, he's been on, you know, The Tonight Show last week, and he was, you know, on live with Ryan and Kelly, and just talking about how much this movie impacted him. But he was on his back porch having kind of a reflective moment one night, kind of talking to God in his own way, and just said, you know, I want to do something with my life that really matters. I want to take a project that has meaning. And the next day, the script for Jesus Revolution ends up on his doorstep that his agent brought to him. And when he came on board, it just, the film took off to a whole new level.
Yeah, it just gives me chills when you tell that story. You know, other names in this, Jonathan Rumi of The Chosen, Kimberly Williams Paisley, Brad Paisley's wife, two really incredible young actors, Joel Courtney and Anna Grace Barlow. Yeah, I've got to tell you, it's just amazing. You know, I think it's partly God's timing, but just think about your timeline of the characters all coming together. I mean, could you have gotten anyone better to play than Jonathan Rumi?
Yeah, Jonathan Rumi, yeah, I mean, it's just been a phenomenon what's happened with The Chosen. I mean, Dallas Jenkins and what he's done with that show and kind of bringing, you know, this biblical story back to life has been amazing. But Jonathan Rumi playing Jesus on that show, for so many people, they just have an amazing connection to him. But he's a fantastic actor. And in this movie, he plays this mysterious, you know, captivating character, Lonnie Frisbee, who's this hippie evangelist. And Lonnie is just a really complicated character. But Jonathan came in and just brought something so mysterious and unexpected to the character. And the scenes with him and Kelsey Grammer in the scenes together, like, it's just magic to watch. So it's an amazing cast, and it's timely subject, and it's a very entertaining story.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. The timing of this movie seems pretty incredible. You know, we've recently heard of Asbury Church, or the seminary, and this ongoing lock-in, if you will, of people there praying, and of course the division. It's almost like you could have lifted where this movie was to where we are today.
Well, the rest of that story that's so eerie, I mean, it's just kind of supernatural, is our story, this spiritual awakening that swept the country, that hit the young people with the hippie movement. It happened in two places in the 70s. It happened on the West Coast in California, and that's the part of the story we tell. But the other part, 50 years ago, where it started, was at Asbury College, that same place where it just broke out. So there's this kind of cyclical nature of it, like, it's happening again, and it's organic. We had nothing to do with it. happened before the movie came out. And so, you know, the fact that it just mirrors, you know, life imitating art or art imitating life, it's just, it's definitely one where you kind of sit back as a storyteller and be like, there's no way we could have worked out that timing. And I think people are really intrigued, and there's a hunger for, you know, authenticity and something to believe in. And so I think this story has a lot to say.
Hey, Andrew, it's great to have you here. Of course, the Irwin brothers continuing to do great films. I look forward to seeing your next project, and I appreciate you joining us. I want to encourage our audience to check local theaters for showtimes. Thanks for being here. We'll catch up with you again, I'm sure, down the road.
Thanks, Leah. I appreciate you.
It's now 9:20. Oklahoma has a new Teacher of the Year for 2023. How she got her start right here in Tulsa. And some big news from over the weekend, why you'll see some extra bling during the show.